8:30 on the clock this morning, and happening today, March Madness picks back up again in the Sweet 16.
Michigan and Michigan State will play their games tomorrow, but while you're placing those bets on the big games, it's important to know the signs of problem gambling, and that's why the Lakeshore Regional Entity is educating folks and partnering with some restaurants here in West Michigan to kind of help them do that. Zach Yoakum from the Arbor Circle and Amy Funk from the Door Moose Lodge is here this morning. Let's first start off with what problem gambling is. What does that entail? What do people need to know about that?
Well, problem gambling is, it's quickly come on, essentially. The access to gambling is ever growing.
Yeah, it's like right there on your fingertips, right on your phone.
Exactly. And so gambling is looking different at different ways. You can gamble in the confines of your home at this moment right now. And so that access is essentially just growing into larger issues for families, for individuals, and it can look like I'm having trouble managing my responsibilities across this month. I'm not tracking how many dollars I'm losing, and so it impacts families, it impacts everyone that you're connected with. It could impact job security in different ways as well.
And how does things like March Madness play a role in this?
Well, there's never been a perfect bracket,
right.
essentially, and so March Madness is a fun activity,
right.
And gambling can be a fun activity, but learning how to be able to responsibly use this access and this social activity is really important. And so March Madness is a fun social activity where we do get to enjoy basketball together and have fun in those ways. But if I'm not setting limits, if I'm not managing the time that I'm in gambling, casinos or online gambling or anything like that at all. I need to monitor my money, my time. It's important not to be depressed when I'm using those functions also. So essentially just knowing how much money I have to be able to utilize, setting time limits for myself, and making sure that I'm not using substances can be really, really important.
You know, I think when we're watching the big games, you know, maybe marijuana use might go hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
You've got some drinking involved, probably with some of the, you know,
excitement.
The excitement,
Yeah.
right? It's all kind of a big fun party, essentially, over the 3 weeks that it's kind of happening. You know, is there a way that you guys are sharing that we can go about this responsibly? Like, is there a way that we can right now take a hold of what we're doing and maybe kind of analyze and rein some of that in? Or if we're too far gone, are we too far gone?
There's always a way to be able to take a step back and to be able to pause and think about this action that is going on. There is help out there. The Michigan Gambling Helpline is available. We very promote the stay out of the danger zone. And so that website has plenty of resources, and there's always an ability to be able to make a change, essentially. And so it's never too late. And so it can feel like that in different moments. This gambling can really take a hold of people's lives. But we want to be able to promote in our collaboration throughout West Michigan right now with the posters that we're providing of gambling tips, helpful resources, things like that in a sense. There's always an ability to be able to make that change.
Yeah, and it's kind of like where partners like Amy and the Door Moose Lodge come in. You guys are one of several restaurants, I understand, across Michigan, West Michigan, kind of taking part in this. Why did you want the Door Moose Lodge to be kind of a part of the change here, maybe a part of the brighter side of gambling?
Well, the Door Moose Lodge and any Moose Lodge, we support the community huge. That is not, we're not a typical restaurant. You have to be a member to be part of it. And what it is supporting our community, our members, and our neighbors. And this way, we just are having each other's backs, watching out, looking out for our Moose members and neighbors, and making sure that we are staying responsible and helping. It's a major fellowship and friendship deal at the Moose. And supporting this type thing, we're not saying that you can't gamble.
Right.
I mean, we all like to have a little bit, especially during March Madness.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yep. Hey,
And
guilty
Little
as
fun with
charged.
it.
Yep,
Absolutely.
yep.
Right.
And so we all love to gamble, but if you can't, like he says, you have to make it affordable and responsible. If you can't lose that $20 or that $5 or that $100, whatever you're choosing to gamble, that's not the way to go. And I love that they have resources. They have signs of warning signs that they provided, posters that we are hanging up. And again, it's just, you don't know how somebody might just look at that. You know what, that might be me. I need to scan this QR code and check out the resources to help me. And it's not something you need to be embarrassed about by looking into this. It's more of just being responsible and safe. And that's big thing about Door Moose Lodge.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head without hitting it, is that, there is kind of a stigma of knowing when to ask for help or get help, and questioning it might be the first step.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what are some of those signs that maybe you're a little bit too deep into this?
Well, I think it can kind of look a few different ways, but I'm not able to keep up on my family responsibilities or my bills or my utilities, or I'm not able to pay rent, or I'm stacking debt at different moments. I'm not able to even track some of the losses that I am incurring ongoing. It could also be where I'm doubling up. I'm chasing my losses too in some different ways, and those losses can get even more extreme at those different points. And so it can look a variety of different ways, but essentially there's going to be impacts on family members, there's going to be impacts on friends, things like that. You're probably a little bit more depressed. I would imagine that if it's in the sports gambling area, you're probably pretty stressed watching some different games and things as well.
It's gambling is about to have fun. If you're not having fun, that's a huge sign.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you've probably seen, I know I've definitely seen people so frustrated with gambling too. I agree with you. I think that is, something that you need to be watchful and mindful of.
If you're coming home angry, that's not going to help your family. If you're coming home, when you're angry, they can feel it, right? So if you're having fun doing it, that's the way to go. So like I said, it's not saying can't gamble, but just be responsible.
Yeah.
And again, that's what our members, we are big into at the Door Moose Lodge, is supporting each other, and we're going to be trying to be responsible community members.
Yeah, absolutely. If we are not if we don't have ourselves out, watching the games at maybe a local establishment or anything like that, where can we get more resources? If we're at home, because like you said, you can pick this phone up and start gambling on games today. If we're not in a bar or a restaurant, where might other resources be available for people?
Well, you could go to stayoutofthedangerzone.com. There is a ton of different resources there. We really encourage you to call the Michigan Gambling Helpline as well. We are seeing that calls are tripling to quadrupling since 2021. And the prevalence or the preference of gambling is online gambling that we are seeing in those calls as well. It's important to note that the Michigan gaming revenue is at $3.8 billion. And that's just the state of Michigan. And that's up 30% from 2024 as well. Wow. So keeping up with different resources that are in stayoutofthedangerzone.com and utilizing the Michigan Gambling Helpline is only going to be helpful resources. But talk with friends, talk with family members, talk with the people that you are close with. You shouldn't be shameful or embarrassed about this situation. There's always a chance to be able to make a positive change.
All right. Well, Zach and Amy, we have to leave the conversation there. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about this. And, again, have fun, but the message is get help when you need it. And that's exactly what we're kind of highlighting this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.